and the Chicago Bears. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
First opened way back in 1924, but renovated in 2002. There's a look inside venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. This was the scene a moment ago as the Bears emerged from their tunnel. Ready for football are they, and ready for football are we, as the Bears get set to match up with the Minnesota Vikings. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Bears team entering play. They've been cooking these last couple months. Winners of 7 of their last 8 games.
And if you extrapolate that out to a full season, they'd be 14-2. And anyone in the NFL today would sign up for that.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Vikings, they've come in on a nice run of recent form. 4 wins out of 5. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. Leading them out at QB is the former North Carolina Tar Heel, Mitchell Trubisky.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance, because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him the win. First touch of the game here for Benny Cunningham. Wiggles free. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one across the 20, but only up to about the 21. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6. This is how they will line it up defensively for Minnesota. They're right around the middle of the pack, number 15 in the NFL against the run.
I jotted down in my notes in prepping for this game that this is definitely an area we got to keep an eye on, because you talk about where they rank in stopping the run. Well, how about what they're facing? This unit loves to run the football, and they rank highly in the league in getting it done.
Yeah, power against power. Something's got to give. This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. Trubisky will throw. And he hits the tight end. It's Deion Sims. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, 2nd down. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. And they tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line.
You have to give big-time credit to the cornerback on that play. Most of them like to just sit back and say, I'm playing pass. But he diagnosed that play so fast and got into the backfield for a loss of yardage. That's a monster play by a corner.
On third down, Trubisky. And that is incomplete. The former Pro Bowl linebacker Anthony Barr there to jar it free.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Officially just 27 yards there on the punt. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. Orchestrating the offense, the former 3-time captain at Michigan State, quarterback Kirk Cousins.
You talk about the pause that refreshes. I think it's come at a perfect time of the year for them, hasn't it? You know, the season is starting to wind down, got a little bit of a break. But how about the guy calling the signals? He's got to be excited about that because now he didn't just get a game plan for 1 week. He's able to work on it for 2 weeks. I can't wait to see if they have anything special in store for him today.
They go play action here on first down. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And out across midfield down to the 45. 23 yards on the play.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Now a play fake here on first down. And Rudolph has it left side. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. From the gun, here's Cousins. Wright's got it. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down. And the offensive starters for the Vikings.
The Vikings' top 2 receivers match up with any pair in the NFL, and I'm talking about Adam Thielen and Stephon Diggs. And how about this? Both underdog success stories. Diggs, a 5th rounder in 2015. Adam Thielen, undrafted in 2014. Now they're helping set the pace for wide receivers in the league.
On third down, Cousins. And this is going to be incomplete.
I don't think either one of us is surprised about who they just targeted on that one. I mean, they're going to try and get to him as much as possible. Off to a nice start, but unable to haul that one in.
Yeah, already looked his way a couple of times on this opening drive. Can't connect there. So on 4th down, here's Ryan Quigley now to kick this one away. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
They go with Cunningham. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line, 2nd and a yard. A carry for the fullback. This is Mike Burton, and he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Trubisky now off the bootleg. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that, 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. Second and 10 now. It's Trubisky. Hits his target. It's Taylor Gabriel. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
A Chicago 1st down. The former Jag, Allen Robinson, on the catch from Trubisky. They'll throw on 1st down with Trubisky. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. The former Pro Bowl linebacker Anthony Barr there to jar it free. So he's 3 for 7 throwing the football right now. Not an awful start, but also not the sharpest of starts.
No, I would agree with that. But if you're a confident quarterback and to play that position, you have to be. You just act like there's something wrong with the wind currents or something wrong with the ball.
It is not you. Keep throwing. That timing usually develops.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The Bears on 3rd down. They've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. From the gun, it's Trubisky. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down.
It's a great job by this secondary. When I watch them, they remind me of elite defenders on a basketball court, right? They want to contest each and every pass.
Great contest on 3rd down to bring up 4th. Fair catch called. It's taken in right at the 20-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now out comes Minnesota. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team, and that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Well, this crowd does not like that call.
First down.
Understandable reaction from them. That's their team that the penalty's going against. But you and I both know they're going to take care of the quarterback.
So now a fresh set of downs. 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. A handoff. It's Murray. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. And Murray's still down. Maybe shaking up that go-around. Let's hope he's all right. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Second down, Cousins. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. And now following that sack, looks like we've got an injured man down there on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Now a play fake, and it's Simeon. And he's able to find Diggs. Stephon Diggs. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 26. Now they'll run it on the toss. And now running right through it. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Now, prior to the snap, we hit all zeros as time has run out on the first quarter of play. 7-0 is our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis back with you as it's Bears football here to begin quarter number 2. They've got it 2nd and 6 to start things out.
Let's go.
From the shotgun is Trubisky. Middle of the field, it's Robinson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 11 yards there as they connect on the quick slant. On first down, Trubisky got his man complete over the middle. That's Robinson. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Here's Cunningham. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Here's Trubisky. Unable to corral him. He fights through. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Now Trubisky on first down. Throwing the slant pattern here complete. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
So 2nd and inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. They give to Burton, the fullback. Looking to throw, Trubisky on first down. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. 2nd down.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Now Trubisky to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Burton. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down.
Brandon, just mark that under the category of just not successful. Trying to throw the ball, just didn't work on that one.
Completed it. No yardage. The Bears on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Here's Trubisky to throw. And that is incomplete.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow him to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let him get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. Now Cody Parkey out to try the field goal. And Parkey's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, Parker, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
Parkey now following the made field goal to kick this one off. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now we move our focus to Stephon Diggs. He's delivered a solid performance so far here in the 2nd quarter.
Everything has been good for him. And right now, if you're on defense, you don't want it to go to great. So you have to just change up coverages and looks on him all the time. Press coverage sometimes, back off and play some man, show some zone, double team him, make him really work for each and every catch.
He's hit the end zone once. Maybe there's more in the tank. And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves him needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Throwing on 3rd down, Simeon. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And they'll bring it down at the 27-yard line. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and that's going to make it 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
Now it's Trubisky. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. There to knock that one away defensively, Eric Kendricks.
They've been playing sound fundamental defense thus far and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard.
Able to force the incompletion, but still waiting for that game-changing play. You feel like it's coming, the first sack, the first turnover.
In a sense, they're playing old-school defense right now. The new-school defense is what you said, taking the ball away.
They run with Cunningham. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. And a nice carry there of 15 yards. Play action. It's Trubisky. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Throwing here, Trubisky. Finding Gabriel, complete. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. To go here in the first half. We're back to Soldier Field following this short break. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky. And nearly picked off there, almost intercepted. Instead, 2nd down.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Now they'll run it on the toss. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it, and boy, the reward was there. A big, big pickup, and guess what? It's now 3rd and very short in order to try and pick up a first down.
On 3rd down, it's Cunningham. And brought down, but not before he was able to break the tackle, and the extra effort moves the sticks. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling. Now it's Trubisky. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. They'll find Miller. That's complete. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. From the red zone now, here's Trubisky on first down. And his throw here's incomplete.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Trubisky to throw again. Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. Allen Robinson with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Bears are in for 6.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Marty looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
Parkey with the extra point, and the lead is now 10-7. So that drive, 12 plays in length, and it culminates in a touchdown for Chicago. Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Here's Stephon Diggs as he and the rest of the offense get ready to go again. He's up near 100 yards now here in the 2nd quarter, but his team's down.
Through no fault of his own. I mean, what a nice game he's having so far. They've got to keep finding ways to get him the football. Don't get away from that. Figure out where things are going wrong with the rest of the team.
He'll be hoping to hit that 100-yard mark on this drive. On 1st and 10, Simeon. And he'll find Thielen on the right side. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain,
Still
but all
first
for
down.
naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating? The guys who just gave up that play.
From the gun, here's Simeon. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. It's a 4-yard pickup, and it'll make this a 2nd and long.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
So we come upon halftime here at Soldier Field with the Bears out in front. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things starting to get interesting in this final weekend before Thanksgiving. So let's see what's going on around the NFL. We'll start up in the Pacific Northwest at CenturyLink Field in Seattle, where it was the visiting Packers who were able to come in and win this one on the road. Aaron Rodgers leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. From there, we head cross-country to check on the Giants at home at MetLife Stadium. And you can see they trail in that matchup against the Tampa Bay Bucks. 2 touchdown passes there for Jameis Winston. Finally, let's get you to Baltimore and check on the Ravens at home at M&T Bank Stadium. And for the moment, they find themselves trailing the visiting Cincinnati Bengals. Giovanni Bernard accounting for the lone scoring thus far as he's cashed in with a touchdown run. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a defensive struggle. Which offense can break through in the second half? To find out, let's hand it over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. To return, here comes Marcus Sherrills. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, we do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Simeon now to throw. Now Simeon stripped. He lost the football. And I think the Bears have recovered. They have. And they came out of the locker trailing. Not a good way to start this second half with their first drive.
Can't imagine that the discussion at halftime encompassed this at all. In fact, I'm sure they talked about, okay, kind of wipe the slate clean, start the second half, and let's go out and play the way we know that we can. That's not a great example of it.
They didn't envision that. So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. This offense, thankful, I'm sure, to have the football back, but also, Charles, after a long drive of their own, they've got to be a little weary.
Yeah, I would agree with that, and what you have to do to combat it, try and get fresh legs in where you can, especially the skill positions. And then for the offensive line, instead of attacking, maybe slow the tempo down a little bit, let them catch their breath.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Handoff to the fullback Burton. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6.
And that was a good collision right there. And I know this as a former defender. If you're playing linebacker, you're going through a checklist on every play on who you think's going to get the ball and where you think the ball's going to go. Rarely do you expect the fullback position to get it. And on that play he did. So you got to steel yourself at that point because the contact is going to be strong.
On 3rd down, Trubisky. And Robinson with a big catch. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll check on his status when we get back. Out of the gun, Trubisky throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Play action. Now Trubisky. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
The Bears on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8. And they got 3 yards. That's enough. A conversion, and now it's 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Yeah, that was a safety that came through and made the play. But there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker. And we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? From the gun, it's Trubisky. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
I know ultimately that feels like a good defensive play, but I know it's really not. They had a chance to keep points off the board. Now they have a chance to kick a field goal by missing that shot.
Yeah, especially at this spot in the field. He's got to be upset he couldn't come up with that INT. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And Parkey's kick is good. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the third quarter. Here comes Sherrills. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And now out comes Minnesota. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because it didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punching the end zone without turning it over.
No gain on the play. It'll be second down. And he had a nice play there from his free safety position to hold him to nothing.
And, Brandon, remember when the free safety was always back away from the line of scrimmage?
That's changed.
They always that changed in a big way. The way we see it now, they're almost mirrors between the free safety and the strong safety. One will be up, one will be back, or sometimes both will be in the same spot. On that play, the free safety was there, no gain.
And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
All right, here we go.
Now it's Simeon. And this is going to be incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here's Ryan Quigley now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Now Allen Robinson and company gearing up to go again on offense. Pretty good game for him so far. I guess he's still got time here to make this a great game, but so far he's been solid.
I like where you're going with that because it has been pretty good. But there's always that hint that things can really escalate for him. And right now, they feel like they're somewhat keeping him in check, but he has found the end zone once. But, boy, he can explode at any moment.
Yeah, and when you hit that end zone once, you want to find it again, don't you?
Yes, you do.
Makes you hungrier.
You get greedy in a good way.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Tackle made that time by Anthony Barr.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The rush defense stout on first down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. On 2nd down, Trubisky. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Deion Sims is tight end, the intended target. And it's 3rd down.
Well, sometimes you just have to take things into your own hands, don't you? I mean, the offense is really struggling in this game. They're the ones keeping things going. They have to continue to play at that level.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. Well, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10.
Here we go now.
Play action. It's Simeon. Able to complete this one to Tyler Conklin. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a 1st down.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? That sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Simeon now 4 of 5 since coming on. It's 1st and 10.
All right, here we go.
A shotgun snap for Simeon. Over the middle here to Rudolph. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his 2nd catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him. And what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their 3rd corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
He can muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a 3rd and very short. This has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Wasn't that long ago that the NFL guys really didn't adopt much from the college game. But one thing that has crept in there is spreading things out, opening things up, not even just in tempo, but maybe getting better line splits and spreading the field. I think that would be a great strategy right now to try and open things up in the run game.
Daniel Carlson now for the Viking field goal. This one from 48 yards away. Three quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Soldier Field. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, but they need some points. They're trailing here to start the 4th. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Hurry up, here we go.
Running for it. Here's Cook. Well, they deemed it 4-down territory, and they got 4 yards to pick up the 1st.
Well, if it's 4th and 4, 4th and 5, maybe you think about the field goal there. But on 4th and 1, this is a way to tell your offense, hey, I believe in you. You can do this. And sure enough, they're going to pick up the 1st down.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
Here we go now. Green.
On 1st down, Simeon. He'll find Thielen work in the middle. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
Now we've got movement
Green,
up front.
39.
And I think this is going to be on Minnesota.
False start, offense.
The crowd's not doing that O-line any favors.
Home field advantage is really kicking in, making it very difficult for them to hit the snap count.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long.
Set. Blue, 90.
Out of the gun, Simeon. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Leonard Floyd in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack. Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
Yeah, he looked like he was favoring something in the left leg. Appears to be fine now, but you're right. That O-line, they got to protect him. Simeon in need of something big following that sack, facing 3rd and long.
Now let's go. Boo, Landon. Boo, Landon.
Simeon. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Simeon now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
All right, here we go.
They pitch it out to Cook. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Credit the tackle there to Aaron Lynch.
All right, here we go.
So the offense a little antsy. The flag comes out and a 5-yard penalty.
False start, offense.
And that'll set them back 5.
Still 2nd down.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long.
All right, here we go.
Cook following the penalty. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup to get him back to the original line of scrimmage with 3rd down coming up.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Now Simeon. And that is incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. Carlson able to put this one through. And that will cut the lead back down to 3 at 13-10. So with that field goal, this one's now back within a field goal. Maybe not the ultimate result they wanted, but gets them that much closer.
This game is unfolding like a really good book, isn't it? Because I feel like there's a few more plot twists yet to be revealed before this one is over.
So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Bears offense led by Mitch Trubisky heading back out there. And the stats on the screen tell the story. A great start. This defense, they made some good adjustments, so he's fallen off since.
Have to like what they did at the half, but you also have to like the fact that they hung in there. Despite the fact they had a tough first half, he was locked in, right, and rocking and rolling. They came out, made their adjustments, got their confidence back. Now they're causing them all sorts of trouble.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. On 2nd down, here's Trubisky. A battle for it here, and this will be caught. First target, first catch, and a first down. This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it, and they got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for 2nd down. If they want to take another shot and try and loosen things up, that'd be the time to do it.
Trubisky now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. On the give, this is their fullback. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Ben Gideon in on the stop.
Now, that's the defense that they were looking for, being able to get extra bodies to the point of attack to deal with the big guy carrying the ball. You really don't want to be in a position where it's a one-on-one tackle with him.
Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. Now they'll run it on the toss. Able to fight through one tackle. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave them with a 3rd and about 5.
You'll forgive me if I get excited about what we just saw there, won't you? I know I'm supposed to be neutral here, but those were terrific plays back-to-back defensively. They know what the mission is. They've got to force a punt here if they want to have a chance to win the game.
They absolutely do. Steps 1 and 2 done. Now they need this 3rd step. Now this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop them here. Here's Trubisky. Quick throw, that's complete on the inside slant. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Cunningham. He can't get him down. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. Another timeout called by the Vikings now, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Second and long, but you got to figure this almost certainly another run. Oh, Trubisky going to throw. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Benny Cunningham, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Bears will add on to their lead.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a two-score game. You're inside of 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. Important extra point up and through, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. So that drive goes 8 plays, and the last play, a really nice run that culminated in the touchdown. Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. It's a short kick, taking it to 15. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. A gain of 32 that time. First down now, but that clock rolling. Now Simeon. Over the middle, he's got Treadwell. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Now it's Simeon. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
The offense on third down tonight, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. They're looking at third in the nose of the football.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
Simeon now to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
Really good, smart play by the defense, understanding third and short, guarding the first down sticks, and being able to make a play on the football and bat it down.
So on fourth down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to get it back to a one-score game. The kick by Carlson is good. And that will tighten this one up a bit. Now a one-score game at 20-13. So the field goal means we're back to a one-score game, but with no timeouts left, I think this has to be an onside kick.
I like your analysis there, partner. I think you're right. You need the ball back. That's probably your only avenue.
So a little under 50 seconds to go. Plenty of time if they can get this onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though now this one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day. And
now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass. Defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a bead on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit, a little play action, and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. The win for the Bears just around the corner. They go down to a knee.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team. Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Bears, they continue to put themselves in position for a first-round bye as they move to 8-2. And now they'll get the short week as they get set to play at Detroit on Thanksgiving. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, it's a bit of a setback as they drop to 6-4 now. And they'll have a tough one at home next week against the Green Bay Packers. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.